What's going on, family? It's your guy Boro, the Lucky Libra, and welcome to the Garden of Consciousness, where we help you plant seeds to grow into your higher self. Now, we need to get into some moon transits because right now we're experiencing a full moon in Scorpio. Now, whenever we are experiencing a full moon, this is a release, detach period. When we experience new moons, this is when we plant new seeds. This is when we set new intentions, all right? So we experienced a new moon in Taurus about a few weeks ago. Now we're experiencing a full moon in Scorpio. All right, so a new moon is like a new book, but when we get to the full moon, this is halfway in our book, and we're trying to see what people, places, and things, energies don't need to make it to our next book, aka the new moon in Gemini, which is going to be our new book. All right, but I always emphasize we want to make sure we take the full moon period seriously. We want to make sure that we reflect, all right, and revise and look at these things, look at everything we've accumulated from the new moon to see what doesn't need to make it on to our journey to this next new moon in Gemini. All right, so because it's in Scorpio, we want to be reacting and responding to our subconscious. All right, whenever the moon is transiting water, we want to, take a look at our subconscious state. See how we feel about a lot of the things that we're into. See how we feel about, our progress with our personal endeavors. See how we feel about relationships and some of the things that we got going on in our life. All right, because the Scorpio is fixed water, we really want to look inside the internal. We want to look at certain things we may not have been, embracing, as far as certain traumas, experiences, things that we kept deep down, all right, aka 8th house energy, Scorpio, things that we kept deep, feelings, emotions, traumas, experiences that may, correlate to some insecurities or just some things we need healing with that we haven't really, came face to face with. This is a great period for us to come face to face with these things, look in the mirror, see what energies, people, places, and things we need to detach, give us a closer look at our surroundings and see how we're gonna manifest all them seeds that we planted in the new moon in Taurus. All right, now leading up to this new moon in Gemini, okay, we want to be open. All right, we want to be open for new places, new people, places, and things. We want to be open so when the new moon comes, we can have new people, places, and things come into our life. But it's hard to do that when we're always bringing in old energies, okay, into our present. When we're always bringing things from our last book into our new book. All right, so by the time we get to that new moon in Gemini, depending on how your progress was with the things that you planted in the new moon in Taurus, this is going to help you see, okay, I set this goal in the new moon in Taurus, okay, and I came 85% close to manifesting it, before the new moon in Gemini. So now that the new moon in Gemini is here, I know what type of goals, I know what type of things we're going to be manifesting and accomplishing. I have more experience, and it just gives you a better clarity to really, maximize everything waiting for us in certain opportunities. All right, but it's just hard to meet these opportunities. It's hard to see certain things when we're bringing old things into this new book. All right, guys. So this is why full moon periods, new moon periods are very important. Okay, so we want to make sure we're detaching, releasing from all of these things. All right, since the full moon is transiting through Scorpio, it's going to be squaring the other fixed signs in opposite Taurus. Okay, so it's going to be squaring Leo and Aquarius, and it's going to be opposite to Taurus. Now, since the sun is in Taurus, you guys are back to support. You guys are going to be able to, you have some energy to work with. The sun is going to be back and supporting you through this period. However, Aquariuses and Leos need to be careful and dive some more into their Scorpio-like energies, because your natural energies right now they don't align with Scorpio-like energy. Scorpio energy squares you guys. So right now is a learning process for you guys to learn how to react and respond to your feelings, instead of Leo trying to react and respond to how they feel about things, and instead of Aquariuses being more focused on having an individual way of thinking about things. All right, you got to be more relatable towards how you feel about things. Okay, so when we talk about this full moon in Scorpio, that's why these next 2.5 days, it's really an emphasis on the internal. It's really, whenever we have a full moon in water, it's really an emphasis on our emotional well-being. Okay, but every time we get into Scorpio, remember, the moon don't really like to be in Scorpio, family. The moon does not like to be in Scorpio, so it's always an uncomfortable, sticky place. So for these next 2.5 days, we may even catch influences and vibes that just feel uncomfortable internally, and we don't even know why. It's just that the moon chakra, the heart chakra of the solar system is in a place that's very uncomfortable. So even you Scorpio moons we're going to be experiencing what you guys go through on an everyday basis. Okay, so you guys are going to be an example for us to learn how to, you know, react and respond to our fixed emotions. All right, to react and respond to how we're dealing with ulterior motives and secrets, privacy, things going on behind the scenes, transformation in our lives, because that's all Scorpio 8th house energy, guys. So this is what we want to focus on. So when you're, you know, lighting your candles, doing your you know, you guys could write down things on a piece of paper that you want to release out of your life, burn it up, let it, you know, deteriorate up into the atmosphere. You guys can do dive into all your different type of practices to help you guys clear your mind, meditate on certain things, and see and bring some guidance and clarity to the things you guys want to continue to do on this journey. All right, so you just want to make sure when you're doing these things, you have an emphasis on trying to clear energy that you probably kept pinned down, clearing certain emotions and feelings that you haven't came face to face with, like I said earlier, because it's fixed water. All right. Now, by the time we get into Friday to start the weekend, the moon is going to be transiting into Sagittarius. So whenever we come out of the 8th house, remember, a place that the moon is very uncomfortable, is very sticky for the moon. When we come out of that place, the moon is going to be transiting through the 9th house. So now we're enlightened. All right, we was just in the 8th house, we couldn't see, we had to learn to feel our way through, we had to learn to deal with ulterior motives and people's hidden agendas and whatnot. And through these experiences, now we're transiting through the 9th house. Now we're enlightened. This is the house of enlightenment. All right, this is the house that gave birth to Sagittarius. This is where Jupiter is home. So there has to be some sort of wisdom that we come out of heading into the weekend. There has to be some sort of wisdom or things you were able to see from this full moon transit in Scorpio to help you have a enlightened, aka bigger, broader perspective about your life in general, spirituality, and everything you've been going through or recently experiencing from your last new moon in Taurus. So this is the energy, frequency, vibration, the space we want to be in heading into the weekend. And then we're moving into the moon in Capricorn by the time it's to start the week. All right, by the time Monday comes, we're gonna have the moon in Capricorn. So while we're having this frequency vibration of reacting and responding to things that we're enlightened about, to things that we have a bigger, broader perspective about, okay, to things that we have more meanings and reasonings about, whether it's businesses, relationships, family matters, domestic issues, or life, spirituality in general, by the time we make sure we reflect and respond to these things during the weekend, when Monday comes and the moon is in Capricorn, now we're back to reacting and responding to practicality, how we're gaining stability. It's going to be an earth trine, okay? So these energies is leading us up into a week. When the moon is transiting Capricorn on Monday, the moon is going to be trining the sun. Whenever we have an earth trine, we're going to have opportunities to create stability, opportunities to take care of responsibilities and organize practical matters in our life. But frankly, whenever we have an earth trine, an earth sextile, and I believe it's going to be a grand earth trine, all right, because we have Jupiter in Capricorn. Okay, so with a grand earth trine, we're going to have a huge opportunity to create stability, use our experiences to create stability. It's going to be people, places, and things that may want to come into your life to help you create stability or take forms of your ways of creating stability, take it from point A to point B. So we want to make sure we keep an eye out for these things. But the more that we're reacting and responding to Capricorn-like energy, aka cardinal Earth, creating new ways to be practical and logical, dealing with practical matters, new ways to be practical about how we see reality and creating stability and security in our lifetime. The more we react and respond to that energy, the more we're going to create opportunities and gifts to create stability. All right, guys? So these are the energies we're going to be dealing with for the next, week leading into for the next couple of days leading into next week. All right, guys? Me and Novi, we're going to be diving into Venus through the signs, Venus through the planets. So you guys want to make sure you tap into that, okay? And we got a lot going on Patreon, all right? We're going to go way more in depth on Venus energies on our Patreon. So you guys want to make sure you check out the website, all right? There's a bunch of free downloadables, all right? Some free content up on there for you guys, on top of Patreons and certain readings you guys can book. You guys make sure to check out Tamaya and Chris and the Hollands Apothecary. Okay, we have a bunch of oils, soaps, candles, everything to get you spiritually right. All right, y'all. So y'all want to make sure y'all tap into that. But besides that, it's your guy Boro, the Lucky Libra, tuning out. Peace, fam.